The Angela partnership, my first big win. This was the breakthrough moment. So up until this point in the academy, we've talked about a lot: struggle, evictions, mistakes that I've made, failure, and perseverance. And I want you to understand something that is very important right now. Breakthrough rarely arrives loudly. It usually arrives quietly and after some discipline has been built. So this lesson is about my first real win in the short-term rental business. Not my first booking, not my first listing. It's my first strategic win. The moment I stopped trying to do everything alone, I started leveraging partnerships because wealth is rarely built in isolation. Life after failure, a shift in thinking. After my evictions, something changed in me. I stopped asking, how can I find a property? And I started asking, who already owns a property? And what problem can I solve for them? This question changed everything. So instead of chasing leases, deposits, and approvals from apartment complexes, I began looking for people. People with properties that are just sitting there unutilized. And people who may be stressed about management and they have travel schedules to where they're not there most of the month and they desire passive income. I started looking for frustration within long-term tenants, and this is where Angela entered into my life. Meeting Angela, the opportunity in plain sight. Angela owned a condo in Buckhead. She traveled often for work. The property was beautiful, and the most importantly, I was producing what I could. She didn't want to manage guests. She didn't want to deal with maintenance calls. She didn't even want to have to worry about cleaning it. She wanted to come home from her travels and walk into a place that was already immaculate. She was looking for someone else to handle the pricing and the communication. Basically, she wanted relief. And that's where I started realizing something very powerful. The best deals come from solving problems, not hunting properties. The partnership structure. Let me explain how this deal worked. Angela owned a property in Buckhead. I operated the business. We agreed that the property would be listed as a short-term rental that I managed. I would manage the listing creation, guest communications, the dynamic pricing, cleaning coordination, maintenance issues, basically the full-scale operation. Now, the property actually generated somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000 every single month. And here's the key part. I got to keep 20% of all the revenue. And I didn't have the mortgage. There was no lease. There was no rent or no ownership costs, just performance-based. This was my first exposure to rental arbitrage through partnership, not contracts. And this changed how I saw the business forever. So if you want to get into the game with no money down, rental arbitrage would be for you. Why this was a win-win? Let's break down why the deal worked so well. From Angela's perspective, her mortgage was covered. Her property was professionally managed, and she didn't lift a finger. She earned more than what she would have earned in long-term rent. And her home was maintained beautiful. When she came home from her trips, the place was immaculate and it smelled good and it was welcoming to her. From my perspective, I didn't need capital to buy in. I didn't need to sign any risky lease that would lock me in for 12 months. I gained experience and income. I built credibility and I created a reputable business model. This was very important. You see, the best partnerships don't squeeze, they align. And when everyone wins, the deal lasts. The power of strategic partnerships. This partnership taught me a lesson that still guides my business today. Money follows value. If you can increase income for someone, reduce their stress levels, improve outcomes, create clarity, you will always be valued. There will always be a need for you. This is why partnerships are powerful. You don't need to own everything. You just need to control the operations. Ownership is one path to wealth. Control is another. And in the beginning, control is often faster. How to find your own Angela. Let me speak to you directly. People like Angela are everywhere. They look like busy professionals, frequent travelers, inherited property owners, investors tired of tenants, owners who are overwhelmed by managing the property themselves. And your job is not to convince them. You don't have to. All you have to do is listen to them. When you hear frustration, your opportunity is close. Trust me, your first breakthrough awaits. Let me leave you with this. My breakthrough didn't come from trying harder. It came from thinking differently. I stopped asking, what can I get? And I started asking, what problems can I solve? This shift changed my trajectory. Here's your next action step for this lesson. I want you to take a moment, take a pen and paper, and write down 3 people in your life who you network with. They can own a property, they can travel frequently, or might benefit from hands off income. You don't even have to pitch them yet. You just simply observe and listen. Because in the next lesson, I'm going to teach you exactly how to structure, present, and scale partnerships just like I did.